How you doing? This is Norris. After I made my first video from the Chess Congress, I decided to make another video this is actually round 4, yeah, this game is a totally different character than the other game I showed you, which was my game 6. It's not, swashbuckling, tactical, sacrificial, but it illustrates an important theme in chess, in my opinion, which is I guess you could say the art of not screwing up, because a lot of games, especially below expert level, even above, probably are won. I mean, you could say on some level all chess games are won because the person, whoever makes the last blunder, so to speak, whoever goes the longest without screwing up, or screws up and then covers his ass, and the other guy screws up last. So anyway, without further ado, let me just get started here. D4 was the first move played. I don't have as much knowledge about the D4 openings, but I usually play symmetrical because I gotta say I'm not a big fan of openings where you only push the pawn one move, like maybe like the Nimzo Indian or something, where you follow this and then C4, E6. I just like getting a big stake in the center. Bishop comes out. Already I'm out of the book on move 2, but bishop move looks good enough to me, so I make it. Knight out, E6. I don't like games that are totally symmetrical, so I decide to switch it up already. Maybe I'll play C5, I don't know. In this case I decide not to. I do make it symmetrical. Knight D2, bishop out, knight here, knight out. I think I'm making the best or nearly the best moves so far. White's lost a little at a time with this knight move, which isn't the best. So already I'm equal. He plays C4, castle, bishop E2, and here Fritz likes D takes C, and then there's a lot of stuff that I didn't see here. Fritz says White's best move is castle, but you might ask, oh, why not knight takes pawn attacking the bishop? Well, then check, and actually if knight moves back, then my knight's going to hop in here, and White's going to be really badly off. So according to Fritz, the best move is actually king F1, and black definitely has an advantage, but I didn't see that line. But this is why I go over my games, even the ones I win, because a lot of times you'll see stuff you didn't even notice, and that would have been a cool, I guess, semi-tactical way to get an advantage. And if I play D takes and bishop takes, then just knight B6, hitting the bishop, gaining some time. So that would have been my best line. That was my first inaccuracy. I played queen E7, which isn't really bad, but it's not as good as D takes C. I think a lot of times in D4 openings, white players will they won't take serious. They won't. This is a threat at any time when D4 and C4 are played. And I think a lot of times white players will kind of think, especially if they've got the pawn covered so many times. Oops. The pawn covered so many times, they won't really think about all the different possibilities of captures. And there is always that possibility, which is good to remember. But I played queen E7. He castled, and I played C5 here. Myself, he played knight to F3, supporting the centralized knight. I played H6. I didn't want to get pins. I didn't want any pieces coming to the G5 square. So he played queen B6, and here I took the C pawn. And the idea is just to gain time on the bishop when the bishop recaptures. Bishop takes, knight to here. Bishop goes home, and then my knight comes back in here. This was another idea. Now I'm hitting this bishop, and he takes the pawn, and I take the bishop. I thought for a while about this, probably too long, because I ended up getting in time trouble, and this was like a classic time control game. But my idea is he can't take this threatening the queen, because I'll take this with check. So he has to take this, doubling his pawns, and I take back. So I've got like a slight advantage now. Rook defends. I don't really need to defend this, so I brought my rook to the D file, which I thought was important. Bishop here, and here I decided to take it just because his bishop looked really strong there, and I figured his bishop was maybe a little better than mine. Knight comes back and takes. Bishop, gets out of the way of the attacking knight. Knight to E4, other knight this time. My knight comes up to E4. You might think, okay, what am I doing? Well, A, I'm attacking this, and B, I'm threatening to come back and oppose the C file. So he moves his queen up there. So now I think this kind of surprised him because he thought I was going for some kind of attack on F2, but I came back. Rook E1 again with the idea of opposing the C file. He moves his queen. Now I bring my knight back. Now I've accomplished that objective. Knight back to F3. Rook takes. Queen to D6. Just getting pressure on this file. If his rook comes back, it's going to be pinned. One of his knights again back to E4. Seems like a comfortable place for his knight. I guess makes him feel good. But here, actually here I win a pawn. I didn't see this. This is the second variation I didn't see with F6. Knight goes back attacking my bishop, and queen takes pawn. Here Fritz likes rook to E1, and now probably E5, and he's going to double my pawns and win my bishop, but I have won a pawn, and I'm usually happy with that. Again, I didn't see that variation. I should have been looking for it, seeing that this knight was pinned, but it's kind of, sometimes it's hard to notice. It's good to notice all the pins, and this technically is pinned to this pawn, which I didn't notice. So I played knight D4, trading off pieces. Knight takes. According to Fritz, the game is equal here. Knight takes, queen takes, G3, and here I played queen D2, which might have been a little inaccurate, but not terribly so, which is an important thing. Just don't screw up. And now here, white is the first to seriously screw up. Here he should have played knight C4. Now Fritz gives this line, queen E2, knight takes, pawn takes, check, up here, and says the game's about equal, a little better for white. But instead of all that, and you think that'd be an easy move to see, knight C4, but people make mistakes. So he checks me. That's always a tempting thing, check, and came here. And I thought for a long time about this. I thought he was going to try something with knight takes pawn and maybe advance a pawn, try to get a mating attack, but I didn't see anything. And now he does the knight move, but now it doesn't work. Bishop takes, king over, rook C2. He played A3 here, and bishop D4, B3, rook takes H2. I'm up 2 pawns, and I was in serious time trouble here, and he had about half an hour more than me. A lot of complications ensued, but I went on to win. I have a better minor piece. I have 2 extra pawns, and he ended up getting in serious trouble and resigning about 10 moves later. So, yeah, this has been Tony Norris showing you another game. Even though this wasn't that exciting and tactical, there was a couple of cool possibilities I missed, which I thought might be interested. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.